Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Luke Webster of Chelsea Hockey. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. I know hockey season just started for you, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, let's recap football. How did that go for you? And what was it like playing in your senior year?
I thought it was pretty good. I got all I could have asked out of the football season we had. New coach, so it was definitely something new. It turned into something pretty good. And boys were bummed with the second round exit. But other than that, felt like we had a pretty good season.
Yeah, what has it just meant to you to just be a part of this program and to have the year that you did, to have the career that you did, playing with Chelsea football, including having a successful senior year with helping year one of the Noel Dean era.
Yeah. I mean, Chelsea football has a long history and, traditions that go back a while. And, just to be a part of it is a great honor. And to be a part of, kind of the new era of Chelsea football coming in with Coach Dean is also a pretty big honor. We were the first year, um, which, doesn't always mean the best because, both the kids are getting used to the coach and the coach is getting used to the town, the traditions, and the way that we play. But I'm really excited to see where Chelsea football goes in these next couple years because I think Coach Dean's expecting big things, and I think they have the potential to do big things. So yeah,
So I know obviously football is done. Now it's on to hockey season. But I know you missed the first few games of the year. And I know your teammates got those wins while you were still in football mode. But you came back, not obviously not what you wanted in terms of the result against Powers, but it's the rest of the season. It's looking to shape up pretty well for you guys because this is a good team and you're playing in a pretty good conference.
yeah. I'm excited to see what comes as well. I think that Powers game uh, was kind of just a good way to, show especially the younger kids, kind of the level of team that we're going to play in playoffs. And, I think we realized a couple things. I think we found a couple things that we need to change, but ultimately, I don't think the scoreboard reflects that game, honestly. It was a two-goal game for two-thirds of that game. And towards the end, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with penalties and, stuff like that that we could have probably just avoided and got out of that game.
Yeah. So the big thing with you this year is that you're a senior, you're a captain, and you're also a goalie. Goalies do not usually become captains, but what was that like to be named captain by your peers and by the coaches? I don't know how the program does it, but what's it like to represent this team as their captain?
It's definitely gonna take some getting used to, I think. But I feel like that more comes from just the adjustment that I have to make from, kind of zoning in and doing my own thing while playing goalie to kind of put my team in the best position they can be in to kind of, doing that same thing while trying to balance, how can I help just be a good leader when someone's down? How can I pick them up? And that's going to be a challenge, especially when I'm kind of confined into my crease. But I think definitely going to figure out a way to make it work and be the best captain I can be.
Yeah. So like I know typically goalies kind of, separate themselves and kind of do, their own thing, getting their own zone. Comparison to that is the pitcher for baseball. What do you like to do before a game?
I have a pretty lengthy pregame routine I like to do every single time, and that kind of differs between home and away game. Um, just certain things from, hopping on the bike, certain stretch routine, certain, dynamic warm up that I do, uh, you know, like being the last person in line, taping my stick. Just got a couple things I do traditionally and have been doing the past 4 years, and works out for me, and just yeah, kind of gets my head in the right mind space. So yeah.
Yeah. So, you talk about like have you always wanted to be a goalie when you were growing up and playing hockey?
So I started playing hockey when I was like 3. That's I feel like most people usually start at that age, like to learn to play or snow cubs, whatever you call it. And I wasn't a goalie until I was 8 years old, and I think I made that switch just because one tournament it was like my turn to play goalie on my team, and I was good at it, or I played a good game. I'm not sure I was even good at it, but the pucks hit me, so I kept to it, and yeah,
Yeah. So, and it just kind of took off from there.
yeah.
So, I know that, you could have had a lot of opportunities this year to do a lot of things. Um, but really, what's it like? What is your year typically like? Because when you're, outside of playing football, I mean, you're in tournaments and stuff like that. And I guess you were even in it during the football season and stuff.
Yeah, so I played MDHL during football, um, and then I was also doing like Michigan Elite last spring. Uh, so hockey's pretty much full year round for me. And while playing another sport like football, I try to balance it. I ended up missing a couple NBHL games, just to like recover for football a little bit, because I separated my shoulder at one point throughout the season. But I was able to play through it as long as I, took a little bit more time for recovery. So I missed a couple MDHL games throughout the football season, but yeah, majority of the time I'm playing football and hockey, or at least hockey.
Yeah. So, I know you want to continue your career after high school. What is that going to look like for you? Like, what are your options right now?
Um, my goal is to play tier 2 juniors next year. Um, that's where I'm at right now. It's my goal, and then eventually play college hockey. But you know how that whole process works. Juniors, college. I mean, at least. So, yeah, excited to see where that journey takes me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about this season. I know you have there's a lot of big games, a lot of big games ahead of you guys. And what's the next few weeks going to look like for this Chelsea team?
Oh, we have some good competition. Wow, good competition coming up. I think it'll be a good test for us, but I'm pretty comfortable where we're at right now, and as long as we keep getting better every single day at practice, keep taking it seriously, and just one step at a time, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot.
All right.
So
All right. Well, Luke, thanks so much for the time as always, and we'll talk to you later in the year.
yeah,